Joss, who lost her grandmother, surprisingly felt her presence, while her life fell into a black hole with guests knocking repeatedly. Lost the care of her grandmother, they set her up with a job, thinking facing reality wiser than chasing dreams. Next day, Hengfu's friend dropped by. Their gon pleaded to let Hengfu off, citing her Mexico study abroad next year. After years, they knew his hard work and dedication. However, Hengfu felt mixed emotions, distracted in class, then rushed to the library to borrow Joss's favorite books. Upon arriving, she found the illustrations gone. Joss said that they were in the trash. Because she hired a new maid who comes monthly for a tidy-up and hinted that Hengfu didn't need to come over anymore during their chat, Joss asked her to take her to see the ocean one last time, but on the way to the beach, her eyes had already lost the sparkle of their first encounter, and even when she arrived at the beach, she merely gazed silently. Tears poured out like surging waves, and on her journey back home, the rain became even more intense, falling in torrents. Unfortunately, crossing the street, Joss's wheelchair got stuck in a groove. Seeing this, Hengfu rushed over without thinking, but too much water led to a car skidding. In the end, the car hit Hengfu and sent her flying. Joss felt signal loss, so she could only return home, yet still kept glancing back at her gaze as persistent as a phantom chasing their star. Emotions withered in the downpour outside the operating room. Joss felt guilty. Fortunately, the surgery was successful, and Hengfu regained consciousness. When she woke, she still worried about Joss. The organ's fine. Her right leg was badly injured, needing at least 2 months to heal. Plus, the surgery wouldn't allow her joints to heal completely, so running around the playground like before was off the table. Upon seeing this, Hengfu was left dumbfounded. Joss, I can't go out anymore. Her situation was a bit dire. She said it was impossible to continue treatment in the hospital. If I can't walk, I will die. The once-gone family sank into a deafening silence. In Joss's eyes, hope seemed lost, and in despair she collapsed on the bed. The next day, the professor came to visit her at the hospital, feeling quite sorry. But opportunities can be strange. Because of the accident, Hengfu couldn't continue diving, and the school planned to give her study abroad spot to someone seen by her friends. They were speechless. That full moon night felt chilly, sadness crashing like waves. She looked at the Spanish fan in her hand, feeling a mix of regret, but ultimately had to let it go, angrily tossing it into the trash. Similarly, Joss was troubled by longing and guilt, unable to sleep. Her gon brought Hengfu her favourite sweets to cheer her up. A big decision to make. Reluctantly, she took Hengfu out for a change of scenery, but Hengfu, sitting in her wheelchair, felt quite awkward. Ironically, she found herself urging Joss to chase her dreams, realizing that everything restraining her own freedom seemed so out of reach. She finally understood Joss's feelings all along. However, unexpectedly, Ergon confessed his feelings to her at that moment. Yet Hengfu showed no surprise. Her years of careful observation had hinted at this, and the timing felt just right. He kept silent before because Hengfu was studying abroad and had no interest in dating, and now she doesn't need a definitive answer either. After his bold confession, she felt immensely relieved. Next day, she told Joss Hengfu wouldn't study abroad. She also expressed her feelings to Joss, planning to start the journey together. After saying that, she made up her mind and left. While Joss began, she rediscovered her friend's talent, continued to make the illustrations she loved, and when everything was ready, she sought out Hengfu's best. The next day, her best buddies somehow got an outing permit, wanting to cheer Hengfu up with a trip, but Hengfu now showed little interest in anything. However, her close friend could still deeply understand how she felt at that moment, even though they didn't venture out to go diving in the ocean together. Instead, they went to the library Joss frequented, and the girl had been waiting. When ready, Joss finally shared her illustrations, day and night work like the first sight. Joss felt nervous, but Kabing's timely support gave her renewed courage. Her vivid speech kept the kids engrossed. The stores in the illustrations felt familiar to Hengfu. Seeing the content made her feel increasingly acquainted with memories of happy times spent with Joss. The image of that blonde girl lingered in her heart, and she ultimately couldn't hold back her tears. This time, no child left during the speech, and even earned applause from everyone present. It was Hengfu's determination that motivated her to commit to daily rehab, because she didn't want to give up on her dreams and still wanted to see those mesmerizing fish in Mexico. During this time, her friends and Joss would come to visit. The first meeting between rivals sparked fireworks, but in the end, they couldn't help but high-five in celebration. Life was finally back on track. However, on the day of her discharge, the girl she had been looking forward to seeing hadn't shown up. Even her phone calls went unanswered. She reluctantly took her cane to Joss's house, and after leaving, she started thinking about someone, feelings swelling in her heart. The memories of that day lingered in her heart, mixed with joy and regret. Those memories from that day remained etched in her heart, a blend of joy and regret. The memories of that day could not be erased from her heart, intertwining joy and regret. The memories from that day remained in her heart, forever confused with happiness and sorrow. That day stuck in her heart like a song on repeat, tangled with both joy and regret. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to us for a happy life every single day.